I feel the master. I feel him. Y'all ready? They ready? Well, come on. Come on. Y'all ready? They ready? We ready? We ready? Come on. We ready? We ready? Break bread, folks. Break bread, folks. Break bread, folks. Break bread, folks. We ready? We ready? Come on. There ain't no question about who the best. They think gon' lay the dragon hard to come to do the rest. Stepping through way most of us to going through it. You must have gone back and joined the part to reflect. And I'ma take them out the game, y'all. It ain't no thing, y'all. You wanna, I rip you up like a chainsaw. The game's wrong, boy, please believe it. Keep your Bible with you, cause you gon' be beating Jesus. Beating for God, stopping him.
What's up, man? This is Mismatch Era Podcast, Von's Doghouse, man. And we here to talk a little bit about the Memphis Grizzlies today. We got a lot to cover, man. The return of Ja Morant, man. And hopefully we got some reinforcements coming back soon. The Grizzlies vibes are back, man. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we need. This is Mismatch Era. Let's go.
Toss it, Morant, at home, and Morant is the hero.
Ja Morant, man, dazzled in his first game back from suspension. First two, actually. First one was just an amazing, legendary performance. 34 points, willing and dealing, getting on the boards. Ja Morant's playing a little defense now. It's looking scary. Second game, he comes out and he kind of just takes advantage of what the defense is giving him. Doesn't really force anything. When you get 20 and 20 from your other stars, getting 31 from Desmond Bane in that second game, man, the sky's the limit, man. The Grizzlies are finally playing with pace. They're pushing the ball, and they look like a real basketball team, a rejuvenated basketball team, and they're playing real Memphis Grizzlies basketball. In terms of, Ja Morant coming back, man, we got to see him, just show a lot more maturity. Like his entire energy and aura just seems more mature. You know what I mean? The way he's answering these questions, he's finally understood what it means to just hold his place in this league and to be able to understand the game, man. You know what I mean? Like he's playing the game for what it is. He's going out there. He's, answering these questions, trying to be as honest as possible, but not being as brash as he typically was. And I think that's for the best. We know what Ja Morant is all about. We know what his energy is all about. We know what his belief in himself is like. We know what his confidence is like. And I mean, it goes without saying. But the problem, I think, during our most tumultuous times last year and through these last couple of years is he wore his heart on his sleeve a little bit too much. And he kind of, I guess, said too much, was a little too brash. And, everybody's not always as receiving of that as, the type of culture, we come from and just being Memphis fans. I think that was the biggest issue with the switch that the media had on Ja Morant. But now he's figured it out, man. He's keeping things close to his chest. He's keeping his family close to his chest, his teammates close to his chest, and he's just, handling business, man. We standing on business this time around, man. That's just good to see from Ja Morant. And you kind of seen that rub off on everyone. I don't know if that's the veteran leadership of Derrick Rose and Marcus Smart and the therapy and the things that he learned in this off time and just all of them and all of their experiences that they've been through and that they've learned from in the last year or two. The trio just seems much more mature and much more prepared to take the next step, man. We put ourselves in a hole. I think our chances of making the playoffs is like less than 1%, and our chances of making the play-in is less than 1%. Um, we'll see about that, man. We started off 2-0. I think we're only. I can check the standings. I believe we're not too far back in the standings from the 10th seed. I think we're only 5.5 games back, which would be insane. Give me 1 second. I think we're only 5.5 games back. Let me check. Uh, we're 8 and 19, 10 seed. Yeah, man. So you got the Suns sitting at 14 and 14. That's when they lost tonight. And we are only currently, make sure I got these calculations right. Yeah, man. Looks like we might be 5.5, maybe 6.5 games back, which is not a lot to make up, man. Not a lot to make up. It can be done. I like the mentality from Jaren Jackson Jr. and from John Morant. Just him saying that's two. And Jaren Jackson Jr. just saying, hey, we just got to get to 500 and then go from there. Like just a good mentality to have. He even talked about not getting excited about these last couple of games and just continuing to stay the course. So I'm loving what I'm seeing from the trio. I'm loving what I'm seeing from our leader and John Morant. Got sick and tired of people talking about Dylan Brooks and giving him all of this credit in regards to our culture, in regards to this team being good or bad. It was never Dylan Brooks. It was never Dylan Brooks. And matter of fact, I have an exclusive between Dylan Brooks and one of our current players. It was a pregame exchange. I just want to play it for you guys really fast. There's a new sheriff in town. Apparently, there's a new sheriff in town, man. Just having a little bit of fun with that. But Vince Williams has been on a defensive tear. Defensive tear, man. He's pretty much matched up against all of the best players on the floor since we started playing that Mavericks game. I believe he's guarded Kyrie well, guarded Luka well. He's guarded Shai Gilgeous-Alexander well. He's guarded Fred VanVleet, Jalen Green well. He's guarded Tatum well, Jaylen Brown well. Man, like he is on a unprecedented run right now. His numbers are ridiculous, and I'm interested to see if he can keep this up, and if he does keep this up, what happens with our rotation when the rest of our guys come back. Because right now he just seems like the perfect puzzle piece and the perfect fit for this team, for this trio that we have set in stone and set in place. Not only is he doing that, but unlike our previous captain, he doesn't have to take 15 shots to do it. Doesn't have to take 11 shots. Doesn't have to take 12 shots to do it. He's sitting around somewhere 5 or 6 shots. Some nights he's very efficient. Some nights he's not as efficient, but like it doesn't matter when you're taking 5 or 6 shots. When you're taking 12, 13, 14, 15 shots, that's when you start to shoot your teammates out of games. And that's when you start to create a toxic dynamic when you have 3 scorers and 3 playmakers on your team, like John Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. It just doesn't make sense to have a 4th or 5th starter having him take that many shots, which is why I'm not opposed to this new push for Vince Williams Jr. to stay in the starting lineup and for Marcus Smart to come off the bench. I think it makes sense for a multitude of reasons. The first reason I think it makes sense is because you don't really have that many point guards on this roster, and the other point guard that you do have, you want to save his legs. 35-year-old or 34, 35-year-old Derrick Rose is not going to be able to play night to night. even if it is 15 minutes or whatever the case may be, because the bulk of our minutes is going to be Ja playing point guard and Daz being able to be on ball a little bit. But I think having Marcus Smart kind of come off that bench and be able to do some ball handling on that bench as well as Luke Kennard just makes a lot of sense. Going back to the age thing, it's less about age with Marcus Smart and it's more about mileage. I would love to just see Vince Williams have to chase those guys around screens and do all of that hard and dirty work, and just see Marcus Smart be able to, guard, the second best player on that team and be able to, step in when he needs to guard the best player instead of just having that responsibility on this team. Why would you make him have that responsibility when you can use him as a defensive playmaker and a roamer and a help defender off ball, kind of like you use Jaren, and completely take advantage of this team and the defensive, capabilities of this team. I think that can be something really special when he returns. Was hoping he would return tomorrow, which would be Saturday, but apparently he's come down with an illness. Um, I would just like the Grizzlies to just stop reporting on these injuries and giving us definite deadlines, because it seems like every time they do, never works out that way. And it's honestly just becoming really hard to trust that they're even being honest and being straightforward about these things. Um, but the emergence of Vince Williams Jr. has been amazing. And, I'm actually from Richmond, Virginia, which is where Vince Williams Jr. went to college at Virginia Commonwealth University, VCU. And what people don't know about Vince is he actually has a little bit of an offensive bag as well. So this year, I'm not expecting him to get to that offensive bag, but I am expecting to see flashes and see him look for a shot a little bit more. I think right now he's just trying to make his way onto this roster by playing his role. But I think once he has that, that guarantee of a contract and guarantee of a spot in this rotation, you'll start to see more flashes from him, man. I love them to be when we drafted him. I'm a little biased, because he did go to college in my hometown. But, man, it's just good to see the man out there, doing unprecedented things, which is basically his rookie year, man. To me, this is basically his rookie year, and he is doing something that I just haven't even seen before, even when you think of the Tony Allens of the world, the Tayshaun Princes of the world. Like, he's doing this at such a young age and so early in his career. He can really be special. Like, he has a chance to really be special. Zaire Williams is a rhythm player, man. Like, he's a fast-paced, breakneck speed type of player. If you put the game in half court, before he gets in the rhythm and he gets a chance to run up and down and get comfortable, he's gonna look like Bambi out there. Like, he's gonna look out of place. He's gonna look uncomfortable because that's just not his comfort zone. Running the floor, getting easy buckets, playing even defense at a fast pace and just getting up and down, it's his comfort zone. Once you get him comfortable and playing that way, it's very easy for him to transition to the half court and be more effective when he's in rhythm. And I think the same goes for Xavier Tillman, Santi Aldama, and a lot of these other guys, John Conchar. A lot of our end of the bench guys or second unit guys, I think they are rhythm players and they play better when we play with pace and when we're pushing the ball, getting out of transition. Vince Williams has just changed the entire dynamic of this team because he's given us everything we wanted from Dylan, and he's given us everything we want from Dylan at a very cheap price. It's time to lock him in. It's time to lock him in, man. Time to lock Vince Williams in to this lineup, to this roster. Whoever has to go, whether it's a trade, whether you're just releasing somebody. They got to go, man. They got to go. I mean, we did it for Bismack Biyombo, who has not been half as impactful as Vince Williams Jr. So we'll love to see that. Gonna take a quick intermission, man. But when we come back, we're gonna be talking a little bit about our front office. We'll be talking a little bit about our coaching staff, what we're seeing in terms of the X's and O's out there on the court. Yeah, and then we got Von's Doghouse coming up. I'll be picking a dog of the week. You have that to look forward to as well. In terms of what I see on the court, it's great to see the pace that we're playing at, man. I said it a while back, man. Stuff is just a lot different when you're playing with pace. Your shots go in more when you're playing with pace and rhythm. And I also just saw from our OKC game, man, like we just play really slow without Marcus Smart and without Ja Morant. Like we just play really slow without any of our point guards, Derrick Rose as well. You see those guys come in and they play with a little bit of pace and they get us going offensively. Like pace and rhythm is everything. And we just haven't had it with those guys in and out of the lineup and some of just out of the lineup in general. So it's good to see the pace pick up. It's good to see the rhythm come back for some of our shooters and some of our players.
Wow, when you break it down.
We are here to talk about the new and resurgent Grizzlies offense thanks to Ja Morant, the Ja Morant effect, man. And we're going to hop right into it, man, right from the jump. As you can see, man, with Ja on the floor, there's a lot more pace as he's pushing his ball in transition. The biggest thing that St. Andrews wanted to incorporate into his offense was the dunker spot. If you can see Zaire sneaking in behind, getting that easy layup, utilizing that dunker spot. They've been working on that in practice, emphasizing that. The patience that Josh shows to probe that screen and make it tough on the defense, get downhill, and you have to account for him, and he just opens up spaces for his teammates. You just sort of forget about those guys, either rolling or creeping around that baseline. Look at Jaren here, sort of stalking in the corner, stalking from that baseline. Ja is quick enough to get that up and over Valanciunas, but if he hadn't, you got that other option to give it to Jaren or to swing it out to the wing. Getting downhill here again, man. If we could just pause this for a second, look at how much space and how open his teammates are, because they have to account for his pressure and his penetration, and it just opens up the entire defense. You can see it again here. Getting downhill, watch Bismack Biyombo utilize that dunker spot, wrap around, and get him a pretty easy hook shot layup, push shot right there for the layup. Utilizing that dunker spot very similar to how they used it in Milwaukee with Giannis. 12 is just a much better playmaker and offers the same level of penetration, maybe a higher level of creativity as well. So it's good to see them utilizing that strength for Ja Morant. That's Herb Jones, one of the best defenders in the league. Tight defense, better offense there by Morant. This is the explosiveness that our offense was missing. Once again here, getting downhill and just pretty much attacking. Because he's been dumping that ball off and hitting people in those corners for those threes, now you sort of hesitate in helping him. And that slight hesitation can put your big man on the island and put him in trouble. Right here, if we could just pause it, look at that double in the corner. Just leaves your defense so vulnerable. Even if he doesn't get the quick drop off to Tillman Hill, he can swing that back up top to Aldama. He swings that again. Vince Williams probably gets a wide open three backside. And this right here is just pace and aggressiveness and just Ja being Ja. One man fast break. Like, that's what we were missing. Once again here, as you can see, they do a better job of stopping, but even your best defense is no match for this new and improved mid-range game that Ja is introducing. There, you see Ja attacking from the wing, which leaves the defense much more susceptible in regards to help defense. So, great wrinkle right there from St. Andrews. And once again, you can see them again. They start to attack from the wing because New Orleans adjusted pretty well. But bringing that attack from the wing just adds a different aspect to it. Now, because Ja was hitting that dunker spot all night and hitting that skip pass all night, B.I. doesn't want to help off Jaren. Those wings are much more hesitant in helping on Ja Morant because of the playmaking he's been providing for the majority of the night. Watch Santi Aldama as he's still able to use that dunker spot and creep baseline and possibly is able to get a tip in even if Ja Morant misses that, and maybe he's the hero that saved his game. So that utilization of the dunker spot in tandem with Ja Morant's penetration and his playmaking, Dez's shooting, Jaren's post playmaking ability and scoring ability, isolation ability, you could be looking at a really good half-court offense from the Memphis Grizzlies. The next step would just be being able to swing that ball around. When those traps do happen, when that penetration does happen, getting that extra pass in there, all right? That swing backside and getting even more open threes, getting great shots instead of good shots. But all in all, I really like what I saw from St. Andrews offense with Ja Morant out there. Marcus Smart on the way. I think he's going to be a really good add in regards to getting that swing into the offense and adding another level of a player that can, play make and get into the lane and cause some collapses on the wings.
Welcome back, man. This is your boy Vaughn. That last game, man, Taylor Jenkins, our last two games, pretty much this entire stretch, I've had my criticisms for Taylor Jenkins. And I think he's just still not showing the best in-game adjustments or the best feel, a great feel when it comes to, filling out these games and who to put in lineups and where to put them in there, where to put them, and how to use everybody on this roster to the best of their ability. There's always a moment in every game where he makes a substitution or he rides a player or a lineup too long, and it puts us in a bad spot. Luckily enough, we have our entire trio, and we have some of our players back healthy. Not all of them, but the bulk of them, and you're able to cover that up. But I'm going to give him a little bit of grace because in the last game, he chose to ride with Zaire. And obviously he sees something in Zaire. He believes in Zaire. And I can't get mad at a coach for believing in his guys and choosing his guys. He's chose to ride with Zaire in our last game, and it worked out. It worked out. Zaire had a very decent game. I think that's good, right? It's good to, try different lineups and try to figure out what works to prepare for these runs that we need to get under our belt to make this playoff push. But I also would love to see him accept players for who they are. Zaire is not going to be a closer for you. When Kennard or Smart comes back, I don't see Zaire being a closer for you. He doesn't play the type of defense that Vince Williams Jr. Does. He can get deflections and cause problems at the point of attack, but he's not the defender that Vince Williams Jr. or Marcus Smart is. He's not the offensive player that Luke Kennard or Marcus Smart is, or Santi Aldama. So I don't see a situation where you're going to be playing this guy as one of your featured top 6 guys or even top 7 guys in this rotation. So whenever he has a good stretch, I think we should be less reluctant to take him out and just accept it for what it is. He has a bad stretch, let that be that. Let him play his minutes and put him out. He has a good stretch. Don't leave him in just because he made 2 buckets and he's feeling good about himself, whatever the case may be. We know what he is at this point. And that's kind of my frustration with Taylor Jenkins and some of these players. He has his favorites and he believes in some of these players, and he just rides them too long, in my opinion. And it's never the right player. It's never the Santi Aldamas. It's never the Vince Williams Jr.'s. It's never the people that he should be riding. It's always someone that they took with the high pick, and they're still trying to convince themselves of. It's all ego. It's all ego, man. And that leads me to Buzz Doghouse. Von's doghouse this week goes to Zach Kleiman in this front office, man. Zach Kleiman in this front office, man. I just think that we are very tape delay, man. We're tape delay and we're very late with decisions that we probably should have been making a long time ago. This type of run that Vince Williams Jr. is on is not a fluke. Like, it is not a fluke. Offensively, I don't know. But defensively, this is not a fluke. Like, this is who he is. You have a player in Vince Williams Jr. I don't really understand or see why we're dragging this process out. I don't really know why. We all know who should be traded or released off this team to make room for Vince Williams Jr. And they're just dragging it out, and they're going to take their time doing this thing, and hopefully it doesn't hurt the team. Hopefully this team stays healthy. If that's the case, I think it won't hurt the team, and you'll have a little bit of room for error. But God forbid something happens, and we basically mess up our chances of doing this as smoothly and as painless as possible. I really don't like that about this front office. I'm kind of losing faith in Zach Kleiman. I haven't totally lost faith. It's not like a Chris Wallace feeling about it, but it's a marginal move feeling. Like, are we going to keep making marginal moves and keep stacking this young talent? And eventually you're gonna start losing some of this young talent. Like, you can't sign and keep everybody. Like, you just can't sign and keep everybody. We know what our weaknesses are on this roster, and I haven't really heard any buzz or heard anything regarding trying to make changes and trying to, still make a push this year. It seems like we're trying to just do that with the talent that we have in-house. And if that's the case, very possible that we can still make the playoffs. But, like, it's less likely than if you fill those holes that need to be filled. So Zach Kleiman is in my doghouse, man. Until he makes a move, whether that's signing signing Vince to this long-term contract, or whether that's going out and, doing the 2-for-1, signing Vince and bringing in other people, whatever the case may be, man. He needs to make a move, and he needs to show this team and show his trio who are giving it all they got, man, that he's all in and that he believes in them. This year that he believes in them. Not next year, not let's wait it out. Let's wait till Steven Adams come back. Let's wait till this. But no, show them you believe right now. Right now. And until he does that, man, he's in my doghouse. We can praise every move that he's done so far. We can praise the dumb luck of the head coach and just so happened to be forced into playing people and they're amazing. We all knew they were amazing from the beginning. But to be forced to play somebody and then realize they're amazing, it never seems like he does it out of his own acumen. Like, it's almost like he's just forced to play these guys and play these people. And that's the most concerning thing regarding this team. But, man, we have Atlanta coming up. We're on the road in Atlanta. Hope the guys don't party too hard and stay out of the clubs so we can go on this road trip and be successful. I think we also have to play in. Let me double check that. I'm not sure. You feel like an old man looking this stuff up, man. I'm struggling. Okay, no, we have the Hawks. We're on the road at the Pelicans, and then we have Denver, who we play really well. So our next 5 is the Hawks, the Pelicans, the Nuggets, the Clippers, and the Kings. If we can, try to go 5-1, lose 1, maybe 2 of those games, man, we're heading in the right direction. Like I said, man, we're not too far back from that 10th seed, man, you just got to keep stacking wins, keep getting some of these guys back, getting healthy, get Marcus Smart back. Hopefully, we have him back for New Orleans or maybe Denver, who he had an amazing game against last time he played Denver, scoring about 20 points, dishing out about 5 or 6 assists. Had a pretty decent game. But looking forward to getting Marcus Smart back and Luke Kennard very soon as well, while also interested to see how this lineup is going to be figured out. Will we see Marcus Smart come off the bench? I have a feeling we will, just for a rest and from a camaraderie perspective. I think we will see Marcus Smart come off the bench, but if we don't, it's okay, guys. It's okay. I'm not really a big. I don't care much about who starts or who's on the bench. Pretty much all I care about is who gets the bulk of the minutes and who closes games. That's what matters. I have a feeling that both of those guys will be getting a whole lot of minutes, and both of those guys will be closing games. That's just a feeling that I have. I think that's how the games are going to play out. Even if Jenkins tries to be stubborn and fight against it, I think he's going to be forced to realize that our best chance to win is to have both of these prime time defenders out there at the same time. At the same damn time. So, yeah, man. Ja's back, 2-0. We got reinforcements coming back, man. Vince Williams Jr. doing this thing. Xavier Tillman looks like Xavier Tillman again. It's all working out, man. We just one game at a time, one quarter at a time, and I think we can get back on top. Man. But, man, it's been a while, but this has been Mitch My Trevor Podcast. This is Von's Doghouse. It's your boy Von. Zach Kleiman. Get your shit together.